Please support my channel. Let's begin Cultivation Online. Chapter 1916 Fighting the Demon Worshippers. The Frozen Cloud Ethereal Sect's disciples clashed with the demon worshippers. Due to the close distance between their sect and the extreme Yin Lake, they only needed to defend themselves for several minutes before help arrived. However, the disciples quickly realized that lasting even a minute would be challenging. The demon worshippers were incredibly powerful and fought without any regard for their own safety. Moreover, despite having lower cultivation than the disciples, the demon worshippers displayed prowess that surpassed the disciples. This abnormal power is one of many reasons why demon worshippers abandon their humanity. I won't be able to endure this much longer, senior sister. Aside from the two core disciples who cultivated on the extreme Yin Lake, the rest of the disciples were merely inner court disciples, and they were on the verge of being overwhelmed. Despite their efforts, the inner court disciples were struggling against the demon worshippers, brutal assault, their techniques barely holding back the relentless attacks. One by one, they began to falter, their defenses crumbling under the sheer ferocity of their enemies. As for the core disciples, while they were faring better, they were far from gaining the upper hand. Neither side was winning or losing, trapped in a deadlock where a single mistake could turn the tide. Despite their desire to help their junior disciples, they simply weren't in a position to do so. Their opponents were too strong, forcing them to remain fully engaged in their own battles. If this continued much longer, the inner court disciples would fall first, and the core disciples would eventually fall as well. Ah, junior sister. One of the inner court disciples let out a sharp cry as she was overwhelmed, her defenses shattering beneath the relentless assault. Her weapon slipped from her grasp, clattering against the icy ground as she collapsed, exhausted and defenseless. The demon worshipper standing over her wasted no time. With a flick of his hand, dark chains materialized from thin air, writhing like living shadows before wrapping tightly around her body. The moment the black chains latched onto her, a profound force sealed her spiritual energy, suppressing it completely. The disciple's eyes widened in horror as she realized that her cultivation had been sealed. In an instant, she had been reduced to a mere mortal. As soon as the first disciple was captured, the battle quickly turned one-sided. One by one, the other inner court disciples fell, unable to resist the overwhelming power of the demon worshippers. The black chains continued to manifest, restraining their spiritual energy and leaving them helpless as they were forcibly subdued. Once all the inner court disciples had been captured, the demon worshippers swiftly turned their attention to the core disciples. Though they had managed to hold their ground for a time, they were now outnumbered and outmatched. Realizing they couldn't win, the core disciples fought desperately, trying to break through and free their fellow disciples, but it was futile. The demon worshippers coordinated their attacks flawlessly, exploiting every weakness and overwhelming them with sheer force. In the blink of an eye, the battle was over. All the disciples, inner court and core alike, had been captured, their spiritual energy sealed, their struggles rendered meaningless. No, I don't want to die. The captured disciples began crying out, their voices filled with a mix of terror and shame. They trembled, not just from fear, but from the crushing realization of their own weakness. They had only needed to hold out for a few minutes, just enough time for their sect's reinforcements to arrive. Yet, they had failed. In less than 2 minutes, they had been completely subdued, their spiritual energy sealed, their bodies restrained like helpless mortals. Tears welled in their eyes as frustration and despair settled in. They had trained for years, striving to become stronger, yet when it mattered most, their strength had meant nothing. Their captors, the demon worshippers, stood over them in silent mockery, as if their struggle had been nothing more than an inevitable conclusion. "Bring them all away," said one of the demon worshippers. However, just as the demon worshippers began lifting the subdued disciples, carrying them like mere luggage, a voice suddenly echoed through the icy air. "I thought I was smelling things, but sure enough, it's the stench of demonic energy." The chilling words sent a ripple of unease through the demon worshippers. Their movements halted instantly, and their heads snapped toward the extreme Yin Lake. There, where no one had stood before, a masked figure had suddenly appeared out of thin air like a ghost. However, when the demon worshippers noticed this figure was only at the second level of spirit enlightenment, they immediately relaxed. "Hurry up and kill him. I'll give you 3 seconds. In response, one of the demon worshippers suddenly dropped the disciple in his grasp and lunged at Yuan. The demon worshipper reached Yuan in 1 second and struck the next. However, in the 3rd second, the demon worshipper suddenly stopped moving and collapsed on the ground, his body quickly turning into stone. The demon worshippers were instantly alarmed after seeing their companion turn into a stone statue. That power! He's a demon sealer. Yuan then spoke in a calm voice, "Release those girls and surrender yourselves, or I'll turn you all into stone. I'll give you 3 seconds. Realizing they were against a demon sealer, the demon worshippers no longer dared to look down on Yuan and decided to fight him together. They released the disciples and attacked Yuan together, surrounding him from every direction. There were 6 demon worshippers, and they were all around the Divine Lord level. Despite being surrounded, Yuan calmly said, "Your 3 seconds are up." In response, the demon worshippers attacked. At the same time as the demon worshippers attacked Yuan, Sun Ling Kai and the others arrived at the scene. Who is that? He's fighting 6 Divine Lord demon worshippers by himself. And he's only at the spirit enlightenment level. Sun Ling Kai almost couldn't believe her eyes when she saw the scene. Chapter 1917 Fighting the Demon Worshippers 2. Although Sun Ling Kai wanted to intervene and help the masked individual, her curiosity got the best of her, and she decided to watch him a little longer. As for sect leader Yuan, she couldn't care less and immediately went to save her disciples the moment she noticed them. "Sect leader, you're here." The disciples cried tears of joy when they saw her beautiful face. "Are you all okay?" Sect leader Yuan asked them as she destroyed the black chains that restricted their cultivation. "Yes, we're okay. It's all because of him." The disciples pointed at Yuan with their gazes, their eyes filled with admiration and gratitude. "That must be Senior Sister Tan's companion," sect leader Yuan mumbled as she stared at Yuan, who was emitting a profound yin aura. "That aura! He's attained super ice resistance," she cried inwardly. Despite cultivating in the extreme yin lake for decades herself, she'd only managed to achieve powerful ice resistance, which was 1 tier weaker than Yuan's super ice resistance. In just a few hours, Yuan had managed to upgrade his weak ice resistance by 2 whole tiers, an unthinkable speed of progression for most. After spending a few moments effortlessly dodging the demon worshippers' attacks, Yuan finally countered, using nothing but his bare hands. His movements were swift and precise, flowing like water, yet carrying the force of a raging tempest. With every shift of his body, he evaded strikes with almost inhuman ease, making it seem as though he was merely playing with his enemies. Despite wielding no weapon, the demon worshippers didn't dare to underestimate his attacks. It wasn't his physical strength that frightened them, it was the demon sealing aura radiating from his very being. To them, that aura was more terrifying than any weapon, capable of sealing their very existence if they weren't careful. However, they quickly realized how futile their efforts were. Much like how the inner court disciples struggled to fight back, the 6 of them were being pressured despite outnumbering him. Soon, Yuan landed a strike on one of the demon worshippers, instantly turning him into stone. To seal his opponent so quickly, what powerful demon sealing aura! Sun Ling Kai cried out in shock, her eyes widening as she witnessed Yuan's effortless suppression of the demon worshippers. As a master demon sealer, very few demon sealers surpass her in demon sealing aura within the demon sealing clan and the demon sealing grotto. Yet, this masked individual was clearly much stronger than her. However, there was no way she wouldn't recognize such a powerful demon sealer. "Seriously, who is that? He's definitely not from the demon sealing clan, but I know of every master demon sealer in the demon sealing grotto, too." Sun Ling Kai muttered in a dumbfounded voice. "That's our traveling companion, Xiao Yang," Tan Songyan said. "Xiao Yang? I don't recognize that name. Where did he learn how to use demon sealing aura?" Sun Ling Kai asked. Tan Songyan shook her head. "I don't know. You'll have to ask him. There's no way someone with such powerful demon sealing aura isn't affiliated with the demon sealing clan or demon sealing grotto." Sun Ling Kai refused to believe that some random cultivator could have such a strong demon sealing aura. After all, while one could learn demon sealing aura through techniques, it wouldn't reach the level of master demon sealer without guidance from an expert demon sealer. By the time their conversation ended, Yuan had dealt with all but one demon worshipper. Please, spare me." The demon worshipper gave up resistance and began begging for his life. "Oh, you're begging for your life despite selling your soul to the demons. How ironic. Don't worry, I won't completely seal you. After all, I have some questions for you. Yuan suddenly raised his leg and kicked the demon worshipper in the groins. The demon worshipper cried out loud in pain, and soon, everything but his head turned to stone. Not only is his demon sealing aura powerful, but his control over it is monstrous. Sun Ling Kai swallowed nervously. If he's not affiliated with the demon sealing grotto already, I must bring him over to our side. Once it was clear that Yuan had dealt with the demon worshippers, sect leader Yun approached him and bowed, "Thank you. If it weren't for your assistance, more of my disciples would have been kidnapped by those bastards. There's no need to thank me. I was merely dealing with pests." Tan Songyan and the others appeared shortly after. Before Shi Meili or Tan Songyan could even speak, Sun Ling Kai rushed over and introduced herself. "Hello, I'm Sun Ling Kai. You're Xiao Yang, correct?" "She's." Yuan instantly recognized Sun Ling Kai, as she was one of the Divine Paragon's fanatic. Moreover, she was the one who painted him at the demon ceiling clan's grand library, even giving him a necklace afterward. What's she doing in the sixth heaven? He wondered inwardly. Yuan wanted to reveal his true identity to her, but he wasn't sure if he could trust her, especially when he was being hunted as a demon, so he decided to continue acting as Xiao Yang for the time being. "Yes, I am Xiao Yang." Sun Ling Kai continued speaking, "I am actually a master demon sealer from the demon sealing clan, and I cannot help but notice your powerful demon sealing aura. Yet, I don't recognize you. Are you affiliated with the demon sealing clan or the demon sealing grotto?" Yuan pondered for a moment before nodding. "I am somewhat affiliated with the demon sealing clan." "Do you know Yanhara? Senior sister Yan?" "Of course, I know her. We're practically family. What is your relationship with her?" Sun Ling Kai was pleasantly surprised to learn that Yuan was not only affiliated with the demon sealing clan but even knew Yanhara, but this raised more questions. "Our relationship is a little complicated, but we're definitely quite close with each other." "How's she been lately? I haven't seen her in a while." Yuan decided to learn more about Yanhara's situation. Chapter 1918 Extracting Their Memories. Senior sister Yan's situation, huh? An awkward expression appeared on Sun Ling Kai's face. "It's a bit complicated." Seeing Sun Ling Kai's expression, Yuan frowned and asked, "Did something bad happen to her?" "What? Oh, it's nothing like that, but it might take some time to explain, so let's continue this chat later." Sun Ling Kai's gaze shifted to the sealed demon worshipper. Yuan realized what she was trying to say and nodded, "You're right. Let's continue this conversation after we deal with the demon worshippers. I was going to interrogate them, but if you have other plans, please let me know." "That's exactly what I was going to do," Sun Ling Kai said. "I need to know more about their activities." Sect leader Yun then spoke, "In that case, you can interrogate them at my sect. I'll prepare a place for you." "Thank you." While they brought the demon worshippers to the Frozen Cloud Ethereal sect, Tan Songyan asked Yuan, "What about your training?" "It's done. Even if I continued training at the extreme Yin Lake, my cold resistance wouldn't improve further. No, to be more accurate, it'll take too long to see any decent improvements." "Already? It's only been half a day since you started training at the extreme Yin Lake." Tan Songyan looked at him with a dumbfounded face. Yuan silently shrugged. Upon arriving at the Frozen Cloud Ethereal sect, sect leader Yun sent all of the disciples to medical to ensure they were not injured before arranging a place for Sun Ling Kai and Yuan to interrogate the demon worshippers. "And no matter what you do to me, I won't say anything," the partially sealed demon worshipper exclaimed, his voice trembling with defiance as he was forcibly placed inside a prison. His body felt heavy, and his spiritual energy was completely suppressed by Yuan's demon sealing aura. "I don't doubt it. You probably can't reveal anything even if you wanted to," Sun Ling Kai calmly remarked. It was common practice among demon worshippers to curse themselves, a ruthless safeguard ensuring their secrets remained buried. These self-inflicted curses acted as a deadly failsafe. If a demon worshipper even attempted to reveal any information, their body would detonate instantly, reducing them to nothing but blood and ash before a single word could leave their lips. Because of this, interrogating demon worshippers was notoriously difficult. Sun Ling Kai continued in a cold voice, "Unfortunately for you, I have plenty of ways to extract information from you without even needing you to open your mouth. However, these methods are quite cruel and have a high chance of killing you. Even if you somehow manage to survive, you'll most certainly be crippled for life. These methods are too cruel to use on humans, but you're a demon worshipper, pests that cannot be considered humans. The demon worshipper's face twisted with fear and horror after hearing such words. Sun Ling Kai turned to Yuan and asked, "You don't mind, right?" Yuan shook his head and said, "You can skin him alive for all I care. Once you're done with him, I'll unseal the others so that you can interrogate them as well. Thank you for your assistance." In the next moment, Sun Ling Kai retrieved a massive paintbrush, its size comparable to that of a greatsword. With a swift, deliberate motion, she pressed the tip of the brush against the demon worshipper's forehead. For a brief moment, nothing happened. Then, she suddenly swiped the brush in a perfect arc, and from the demon worshipper's forehead, a black orb of light was forcibly dragged out, writhing with a sinister energy. Without hesitation, Sun Ling Kai guided the orb toward an empty scroll she had prepared. The moment the black orb entered the painting, the scroll came to life, ink flowing across its surface as a picture quickly formed. As for the demon worshipper, the moment the black orb of light was forcibly extracted, he let out a blood-curdling scream, his voice laced with sheer agony. His face convulsed violently, with veins bulging as if something within him was being ripped apart. It was as though the very essence of his existence was being forcefully unraveled. The hysterical screams lasted for only a brief moment before his head suddenly went limp. Just like that, the demon worshipper perished. I have extracted the memories of that demon worshipper, but I could only extract about 10 years, his last 10 years. Hopefully, there is something useful. Sun Ling Kai said as she poured her spiritual energy into the painting. A glowing string appeared from the painting and attached itself to Sun Ling Kai's forehead, showing the demon worshipper's last 10 years of memories. Sometime later, Sun Ling Kai opened her eyes and shook her head with a disappointed expression. He was just a lackey. Besides being ordered to capture female maidens, he didn't know anything. Do you want to take a look? It's quite nasty, so I don't really recommend it. Sun Ling Kai looked at Yuan. No, it's fine. Yuan politely refused. Although Sun Ling Kai acted nonchalantly, reading another's memory was a dangerous act. Memories were not just images and thoughts, they carried the essence of a person's experiences, emotions, and even their will. To extract and absorb them was to open oneself to the lingering traces of the person's soul, an act that could be incredibly dangerous, especially when dealing with demon worshippers, whose very existence was steeped in corruption. If Sun Ling Kai wasn't careful, the malice and twisted beliefs of the demon worshipper could seep into her consciousness, corrupting her own thoughts and emotions. However, Yuan wasn't worried the memories could corrupt him. He just didn't want to subject himself to such unpleasant memories, especially when it wasn't necessary. But if it gets too hard for you, I can look at them instead, he said. Sun Ling Kai smiled and said, "You don't have to worry about me. I've extracted hundreds of demon worshippers' memories before without any issues." Chapter 1919 Yanhara's situation. You're a master demon sealer. I don't qualify to worry about you, Yuan chuckled. That's not true. Your demon sealing aura is powerful enough to qualify as a master demon sealer, if you aren't one already. I'm definitely not a master demon sealer, if you say so. Sun Ling Kai continued to extract the memories of the next demon worshipper after Yuan partially unsealed them. Once again, the demon worshipper released an ear-piercing scream when Sun Ling Kai extracted his memories with a calm expression on her face, clearly unaffected by it. A few moments later, the demon worshipper went limp, his life extinguished. This continued for several more times, until Sun Ling Kai extracted the memories from all of the captured demon worshippers. In the end, only one of them had managed to survive, but he had been crippled so badly that he couldn't even utter a word properly. However, he didn't live long, as sect leader Yuan ended his misery shortly after. Did you learn anything? Sect leader Yuan asked afterward. Sun Ling Kai nodded and said, it appears there are several backgrounds involved. The Ling family, Cheng family, Red Saber Mountain, and the Purple Rain Monastery. Are you familiar with these names? Sect leader Yuan's eyes widened with surprise after hearing these names, and she quickly said, of course. The Ling family is a prominent name in the business industry. The Cheng family are renowned for their sword techniques and for producing many powerful swordmasters. As for the Red Saber Mountain and Purple Rain Monastery, they're both above-average sects. How are they involved? From the memories I extracted, the demon worshippers we've captured belong to these places. Their positions within these places aren't very high except for one of them, who turned out to be a sect elder of the Purple Rain Monastery. Their mission was to capture females who are still maidens and bring them to a certain area within the smoldering desert. I'll be heading there soon. Hopefully, I will find your missing disciples there. I will come with you. Sect leader Yuan declared without hesitation. Sun Ling Kai raised an eyebrow and said, I don't doubt your strength, but the environment there is quite harsh, especially for yin attribute cultivators such as yourself. There's also a good chance we might encounter a demon there. That's. I also need someone to deal with the Ling family and the other three. You can deal with them while I deal with the smoldering desert. I'll come with you, Yuan suddenly said. Sun Ling Kai immediately nodded, I can definitely use your help. Despite Yuan's low cultivation, Sun Ling Kai couldn't underestimate him, who could fight cultivators several realms above his cultivation. What about us? She merely asked. You should assist sect leader Yuan, Yuan said. All right, lead the way, Yuan said to Sun Ling Kai, who retrieved a flying treasure and gestured for him to ride it. Yuan jumped onto the flying treasure, which took the appearance of a painting and flew away with Sun Ling Kai. While they traveled, Sun Ling Kai spoke, since we have some time now, let's continue our conversation. Is Yanhara in trouble? Yuan asked. Before I answer that, I must ask you, what exactly is your relationship with the demon sealing clan and senior sister Yan? This is my relationship. Yuan retrieved his elite demon sealer's identification badge and showed it to her. You're an elite demon sealer. With that level of demon sealing aura. I don't believe it. It's been a while since I visited the demon sealing clan's grand library, so I haven't gotten the chance to improve my rank. As for my relationship with Yanhara, sorry if this seems rude, but I cannot fully trust you. Sun Ling Kai narrowed her eyes at Yuan's face, mask, and fell silent. After a moment of silence, she spoke, Senior Sister Yan has started gathering people for her own faction within the demon sealing clan, one that directly opposes the current leader. Of course, she didn't openly admit this, but her intentions are clear to everyone. I don't know how much you know about the demon sealing clan's current leader, but he is someone who fought desperately to reach his position, and someone like that won't let his position be threatened. Fortunately, because of the demon worshippers' activity, as well as the demon sealing grotto's pressure, he has his hands full right now and cannot deal with Senior Sister Yan. However, I'm afraid that once things calm down, he will start clashing with Senior Sister Yan. Although Senior Sister Yan is very powerful, with connections to many influential figures in the clan, the leader has about 90% of the demon sealing clan on his side. It won't be an easy fight. Hearing this, Yuan asked, what about you? Are you with Yanhara? Of course, we've known each other even before we joined the demon sealing clan. The only thing preventing us from being real sisters is our blood. That's why I am very offended to hear you doubt me. Sorry, but as you said, Yanhara has essentially made herself a target within the demon sealing clan. It's not that extreme, yet. At this moment, Senior Sister Yan is just gathering trustworthy people to her side, which isn't against the rules or anything, and until she does something that directly clashes with the clan leader, she's not in danger. Where is she right now? Yuan then asked. I'm not sure, but she's definitely on a mission to deal with the demon worshippers right now. Hell, we're still looking for some ridiculously powerful demon that was last spotted in the fourth heaven. Yuan's body stiffened after hearing Sun Ling Kai's last several words. Ridiculously powerful demon in the fourth heaven. He repeated. Yes, this demon was first spotted a few years ago in the fourth heaven by some people from the nine heavens law and order. Sun Ling Kai started with a shrug. However, the description they gave is ridiculous, and quite frankly, nobody in the demon sealing clan truly believes it exists. Chapter 1920 Smoldering Desert. This is my first time hearing about such a demon. Can you tell me more about it? Yuan asked. Sun Ling Kai nodded and said, then let me tell you what the nine heavens law and order told us. They claimed this demon was only at the Spirit King level when they first encountered it. Yet, this demon was able to overpower several immortals who have restricted their cultivation to the Divine King realm. The demon wielded two soul weapons, a spear and a sword. They even claimed the demon was able to use enhanced sword aura. They also claimed that this demon was able to regenerate from complete annihilation and even had the aura of a beast. Ridiculous, isn't it? Who would believe that such a demon would exist? It was common knowledge that demons don't use weapons, let alone soul weapons, and if they did, these weapons would be crafted from their own blood. Moreover, a demon using sword aura was unheard of, much less enhanced sword aura. I have never heard of a demon using soul weapons before, Yuan remarked. Right. Sun Ling Kai suddenly fell silent. After a slight pause, she looked at Yuan with a doubtful expression and spoke, "Now that I think about it, are you suppressing your true cultivation? There's no way you're only at the second level of spirit enlightenment, right? After all, you were able to overpower those demon worshippers, who were all divine lords." "I'll leave that to your imagination," Yuan calmly responded. Even if he suppressed his cultivation, it still wouldn't make sense how he was able to fight several demon worshippers who were 4 realms stronger than him, Sun Ling Kai thought to herself. Even if Yuan were a cultivation god, since he suppressed his cultivation to spirit enlightenment, his prowess would only be around that level. Even if his techniques were superior, it would be extremely hard to compensate for 4 entire realms of power difference. His prowess is similar to that demon. Although Sun Ling Kai compared Yuan's fighting prowess to the demon, she didn't entertain the possibility that they were the same individual, even for a split second. Sometime later, they arrived at the smoldering desert, a vast, desolate expanse where the air shimmered with intense heat and the landscape stretched endlessly with blazing sand dunes. There was no sign of civilization, only scorching winds, searing sunlight, and the ever-present danger of magical beasts that had long adapted to the harsh environment. "How are you feeling? If the heat becomes too unbearable, let me know," Sun Ling Kai said as she veiled her body with a thick layer of spiritual energy that was constantly being melted away from the intense heat. "I'll be fine," Yuan calmly responded. Due to his fire harmony, not only did he not feel the heat, but it was even comfortable for him. The way the heat is naturally being absorbed into his body, no way, he's achieved fire harmony. Sun Ling Kai swallowed nervously after realizing this. There was almost no doubt in her mind that Yuan was hiding his true cultivation, as she couldn't fathom someone at the spirit enlightenment achieving fire harmony. "Once we arrive at our destination, if we encounter any demons, please let me handle them. I'm not doubting your ability to seal demons, but I am on a mission, and I am technically your senior. However, if there is more than one demon, I'll probably need your help," Sun Ling Kai said as they neared their destination. Yuan nodded, "I'll deal with the demon worshippers and secure the kidnapped victims, if they are still alive, while you deal with the demon." Sometime later, Sun Ling Kai stopped the flying treasure above an empty area and said as she looked down, "They are beneath the sand. I can sense them. Out of the 42 presences I sense, only 3 of them have demonic energy. It's safe to assume that the other 39 are all kidnapped individuals." She continued, "As for the 3 with demonic energy, I'm certain that one of them is a demon. The other 2 are just demon worshippers, but they are both at the divine ancestor level. I'll leave them to you." "Sure," Yuan agreed without hesitation. "I'm going in." Sun Ling Kai tilted the flying treasure, angling it sharply until its front pointed directly toward the ground. Without hesitation, it plunged downward, cutting through the sand like a blade through silk. As they descended, the surface layer of sand gave way to reveal a hidden subterranean chamber, a spacious area filled with towering pillars of compressed sand, sculpted over time. To their surprise, the scorching heat of the desert vanished almost instantly upon entry. Down here, the air was cool and still, a stark contrast to the inferno above, as if they had crossed into an entirely different world beneath the sand. The 42 individuals also came into view. 39 of them were bound tightly by black chains, their spiritual energy completely suppressed, leaving them weak and unable to resist. They sat or lay scattered across the sandy ground, expressions filled with exhaustion, fear, or quiet defiance. Not far from them, 2 humans stood watch. However, they seemed relaxed, their postures casual and unfocused, as if they didn't see the captives as a threat, nor expected any kind of interruption. "I'll leave them to you," Sun Ling Kai said. "Of course." Yuan immediately jumped off the flying treasure, landing between the 2 demon worshippers and the captives. Meanwhile, Sun Ling Kai flew toward the demon, who was slumbering not too far away. "What the fuck? Who are you? And how did you find this place?" The demon worshippers were immediately alerted by their sudden invasion, but they quickly relaxed upon seeing Yuan's cultivation base. "Your friends from the Red Saber Mountain told us," Yuan said as he retrieved number 1 under heaven, seemingly intent on finishing this as soon as possible. "The Red Saber Mountain? Bullshit. There's no way they would betray us," the demon worshippers exclaimed as they also withdrew their weapons. The end. Your feedback is appreciated.